What is up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back. Let's go. Today, we're going to continue with the macro to micro timeframes so we can go ahead and break down and understand trend and precision entries. All right. So let's go ahead and get into that today. We're going to go ahead and stick with buy examples. And today, our buy setup, right, what we're going to be looking at for buys will be a starting point setup, right? So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to keep it simple on the setup and break down more the lower time frame, okay? Awesome. So right now we're creating structure. Market is in its bullish state. Now let's go ahead and create the pullback. And my dog likes to like bite his nails and he just be chomping on them things, bro. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Awesome. So right now, this is what we have, guys. We have the market giving us some bullish movement. We have a higher high and a higher low being created right now. Market structure is being formed. We have to wait for the market to go ahead and give us a BOS to the upside so we can have a starting point by opportunity. Give me a one if this makes sense. All right, so this is important. If you like starting points, guys, mark up this area. We need to break a structure for buy opportunities. Guys, finding opportunities is actually so freaking easy if you just mark up your zones and what you need to happen. You got to wait for what you need for what you want to happen, right? So I know that I need to break a structure for buy opportunities, right? That is I already know that, right? There's nothing different. So let's go ahead and start to create this momentum. Let's go ahead, create a little pullback, right? Because market structure isn't always clean. Dang. Oops. This is wrong. That should be green. I was like, yo, what? All right, cool. So now we have the breaker structure. Would you guys agree? We have now gotten our breaker structure to the upside. Yes or no? Would you guys agree? Yes, right? We have the breaker structure. So let's go ahead and confirm. We have the BOS of the upside. Now, guys, what does this BOS mean exactly? When you see this BOS, what are you thinking? What is Jennifer the trader thinking? What is Isha, Catherine, Luis, Fernanda, Teresa? What are you guys thinking when you see breaker structure to the upside? Continuation. Let's go. Continuation, right? If the market is continuing in that bullish state, and we can continue to see what the heck, and we can continue to see break a structure, break a structure. That is a good thing. If the market wants to continue going higher, we want to also continue going higher with the market. Think of the trend as a river, right? It's much better and much easier to swim with the flow, with the stream, than against the stream, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. Now that we know the market is flowing upstream, we should be looking for buys. Now, boom, we have our rally breakout. We can see our starting point, right, guys? Once you find your rally breakout, we have to follow that rally back down to the last selling candle, right? Our last selling candle was here. Boom, let's go. Now I have a question for you guys, right? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Let's go. Why is this not my starting point? Why is this candle here not my starting point, guys? Unmute. I know it's going to take too long to type. Why is this candle not my starting point right here? Yes, Luis, because no break of structure. This candle is not my starting point because this rally does not give me a break of structure. It gives me a reset, right? So notice how the market rallies and then pulls back and resets, right? It gathers up, right? And then boom, this pullback, we finally get the break of structure we're looking at. So that is why this starting or this last selling candle is not the starting point and why this is the starting point. Good job, Luis. Let's go, baby. Way to participate. Even though it's something that small, because you put a question mark at it, that means you kind of doubted that a little bit, right? The more you answer these questions, the more confidence you're gonna feel in the markets, bro. Good job. That's not for me, that's for you, bro. You feel me? Good stuff. So now that we've found our starting point, the next thing we have to do, guys, once you found your starting point, find the lowest wick in this area. That's gonna be your stop loss. So we'll go ahead. We will say that this low wick here is the lowest wick. So this is going to be my stop loss. This is the setup, guys. We can say this is, I don't know. Let's see. What do I want to use? Yeah, let's use this. Higher time frame. Let's see. Macro. Excuse me. Let's put this down here. Macro time for macro higher time frame. Let's say this can be, I mean, 4 hour and up, really. 4 hour and up, right? Those are what I like to consider macro time frames, the 4 hour all the way up to the monthly, right? But again, guys, just because, with the basics, right? Higher time frame is usually 4 hour time frame and higher. But let's say you're a scalper. Let's say you like to trade on the 1 minute to 5 minute time frame, right? Just because you're trading those time frames, that's fine, but you still need a higher time frame target. You still need to understand where the market can have possible rejections. So if you're trading 1 minute, 5 minute, maybe your macro time frame is the 1 hour, right? So just because I'm giving you like a basic layout of what the higher time frame is, if you like lower time frames, you need to go up at least 1 to 2 hours for a higher time frame target and bias. Give me a three if that makes sense. So let's just say this right here, this time frame that we're looking at, this drawing, maybe this is the 1 hour time frame. Maybe this is the 15-minute time frame. But as the market starts to pull back, I'm gonna start paying attention to that 5 minute/1 minute structure coming down, right? Now let's just say this time frame is the 4 hour. Now, as the market starts to come down, I'm really gonna pay attention to that 1 hour/15 minute structure, right? So this is just a basic understanding and layout, but again, take that with a grain of salt and apply that to how you guys trade, right? It's gonna help you out, I promise you. So let's go ahead and break this down. So we will keep this whole thing right here. Just so we have an understanding, this whole thing here is my higher time frame. This is my higher time frame. Okay? Give me a 10 if we are all in an understanding of that. This whole thing is my higher time frame. Let's go. Now, super important, guys. Nothing changes. Even though I try to break things down and give you guys as much detail as possible, nothing changes, guys. Okay? Nothing changes. So now this blue line that I have here is going to be my lower time frame market structure. Okay? Lower time frame market structure. So let's go ahead, make this blue. Micro lower. And again, this is just the basic layout and understanding to help you guys. 1 hour and lower. Awesome. Okay. Now, as the market breaks structure to the downside, guys, it's super important we understand what is happening, right? Even though we're not looking for bearish break of structures or bearish sells, that doesn't mean we can't mark that up. We should mark that up because it's going to give us detail. And the fact that we're on lower time frame, I mean, why aren't you guys going to mark it up if that's what we're on the lower time frame for? If you guys are on the lower time frame for detail, then mark up the structure so you can have all the detail covered. Okay? Makes no sense to hop on lower time frame and not mark it up. Okay? I can almost guarantee if you slip up on lower time frames, it's because you didn't have everything marked up to a T, right? So let's go ahead. Now, it's important that we have our change of direction line, especially when the market is bullish. If the market wants to go ahead and continue going higher, guys, the market wants to continue going higher. So we have to mark up. Okay. Now, if the market wants to go ahead and continue dropping, that's a good thing for us. Awesome. Give us a good discount. But now we have to continue to adjusting our zones. We got to continue adjusting, guys. Super, super important. Okay. Now, if the market wants to continue and change direction, awesome. The market told us what it wants to do. Let's go ahead and start acting accordingly. Okay, give me a 3 if that makes sense, guys. I promise you guys, that you're gonna see the market. You're gonna be like, yo, I wanted to wait for this, but because I saw this, I never took it. And you know what happened? The market took off. But I never took it because I wanted the market to come back down here. Guys, promise you guys, when the market gives you the confirmation, run it. I'm not saying you won't get stopped out because sometimes you will get manipulated. Market will give you a change of direction confirmation. We're looking for buys here. The market sometimes will go lower. Now, for me, I'm willing to run that risk. Why? Because the market already gave us bullish confirmation. It told me to look for buys. And the fact that I am waiting for this change of direction, guys, that's my confirmation. I got to run it. Now, if the market goes lower, that's okay. It's going to my original entry anyways, but I am running my risk to reward. That is why risk to reward is so important. If you guys haven't gone over risk to reward, check the YouTube. I broke down risk to reward with extreme detail, right? Extreme detail. Trust me, I haven't seen anybody break down risk to reward like that ever. Promise you guys. So watch that, right? If you cover a 10 trade cycle, you are okay. Like if you cover a 10 trade cycle, okay, with a 1% risk, you are allowed to lose 7 times. If your 3 trades hit, you are above profit. So while the market is dropping down here, obviously I'm not trying to lose 7 times, but let's just say we took our first loss here. That's 1 loss in my 10 trade cycle. Does that make sense, guys? That's 1 loss in my 10 trade cycle right there. So you got to continue to run your opportunities. Oh man, my back is itching right now. Awesome. I'm super happy that makes sense for you guys. And if it doesn't, I hope you guys ask questions because understanding risk to reward and your 10 trade cycle is important. It doesn't mean you're wrong overall. It just means you're wrong in the moment. Okay? Super important. Now, let's say the market just continues to drop. Awesome. Let's go. That's exactly what we want to see. Let's go, guys. Now, if this is my break of structure to the downside, where do I adjust this line to? I need to move my line down. Guys, annotate on my chart. My bad. My bad, Carlos. That's me. That's me, bro. Where do I move this line to? Let me know, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. We adjust to here. This is the closest pullback possible, right? If the market is ready to go, because again, we are very close to my buy. If we cover the fib, I usually don't go over fibs, but if we're in discounted range, right? 50%, 70% discount, 79% discount. If we're already in discounted range, guys, institutions are looking for buys. So if we see this, bro, let's start looking for buys. Okay. And again, if I take a loss, boom, it's okay. I'm not wrong overall. I'm wrong in the moment. Second loss in my 10 trade cycle. It's okay, right? I still have five more trades that I'm willing to lose. But again, I'm not looking to lose seven, freaking trades. It just helps me with my psychology. So let's go ahead. Let's say the market finally comes in to my buy zone. Let's go. Now, there are going to be two people, maybe even three people, three types of traders, possibly, right? Someone is going to see this higher time frame trade, and they're going to be more than willing to risk this opportunity, right? Tons of people, including myself, they are definitely going to be willing to trade this starting point off the first touch, right? But then there's going to be people who are, who are going to say, you know what? I don't trust this zone off the first touch. I want to see my confirmation. I want to see the change of direction so I can then look for a buy opportunity, right? So as soon as the market gives us this change of direction, let's go ahead, confirm, right? Our lower time frame, our macro time frame has now given us confirmation. We can now start looking for buys. Now we have our lower time frame starting point. Now we can use this as our setup with my stop loss here. This is my micro setup, right? So this is the difference, guys. The macro setup, not that it's wrong, it's usually just a bigger stop loss. And people want to risk less pips, right? For a better reward. Because let's say, right, this is my 1 to 3 here. Literally a 1 to 3. Now, if I do the same take profit with the smaller stop loss, I now have a 1 to 5. This is why understanding macro and micro timeframes is so powerful, because you can have the same take profit but different stop losses to give yourself a better and greater risk to reward. Give me an 8 if this makes sense, guys. Let's go. So you're going to have the trader who waits for this confirmation and waits for this buy opportunity to send the market higher. But again, guys, I also want to make sure you guys understand, just because you wait for this confirmation does not mean the market owes you this entry. Let me repeat myself. Just because you want to be conservative and play cautious, that's 100% fine. That is on you, the trader, right? This is your capital. These are your rules. You trade your capital how you want to trade it. If you wait for this confirmation, awesome. But the market does not owe you the sniper entry. That's what you're looking for, so we can risk less pips with a greater reward. That's what we're all looking for. But just because we're looking for that does not mean the market owes us the entry, right? You can have something that looks like this, barely misses your entry, and the market takes off. You could have something that's a break and retest, right? Just retests this area, and the market takes off, right? Just need you to understand that. Give me a 1 if that makes sense, guys. And that's something you have to be okay with, right? Don't get emotional like, oh, bro, the market's been missing my entries all week. Bro, it is what it is. I would rather miss an entry than lose a trade. Just being honest. Like that's me. If that's not true, then okay. We don't really trade the same. We don't really have this same the psychology, right? And that's okay. You know what? But I would rather miss a trade and have the market go my way because I am being picky. Guys, this is your capital. Be Mr. Krabs with your funds, bro. Stop trading every setup because you see a possibility, right? Guys, good setups only. And if the market does not give you an entry after confirmation, guys, just sit on your hands. Okay. Give me a two if this is making sense so far. And give me a question mark if you are confused. Let's go. So there are three traders, right? The person who will enter here, let the market ride. The person who waits for confirmation, waits for their sniper, let the market ride. And then the third person, like myself, they will do their best to enter here and here and let the market ride. Right? But it's all about your mental, emotional capacity, right? Are you willing to enter two trades and manage two trades? Can you do that? Can Catherine, Yadi, Louise, Carlos, Jennifer, Isha, can you do that? I can personally do that. But can you? And if you can't, it's okay. There's like the world isn't gonna end, like your capital's not gonna vanish. You're not gonna blow your account because you only want to trade one trade. Like that's perfectly fine. Okay. If you want to stick to one trade, stick to one trade. If you want to enter off the first touch on higher time frame, do that. If you want to enter off of the confirmation on lower time frame, do that. What do you like? I'm giving you guys the information. Now it's up to you guys to back test this and see what you like, right? Guys, who was ready to continue? Go ahead, get a screenshot of this. Telling you guys, telling y'all, this is how the market moves. If you guys do not mark up your zones and do not adjust your zones, you're going to miss opportunities. I don't care how the market looks. I don't care how the market looks, guys. If the market is choppy and we break out, mark it up. I don't care how the market looks. If the market is choppy, breakout, guys, mark that up. Not every trade, not every chart is going to look like this. Indices might look like this. Forex pairs most likely look like this. But you have to mark up your zones or else you will forever be lost and forever be second guessing your charts. Okay? Let's go ahead. Hope you guys took a screenshot of this. We'll give you a couple oops. We'll give you guys a couple seconds to get this going, and then we will go ahead and get into it. Awesome. Let's go ahead. I don't know what we're looking at today, but do you guys want to look at something specific? Or do you guys want to go ahead? Okay, Carlos. Carlos got us a chart. Let's go, baby. Not sure why. Can you guys see this chart right here? It's Ethereum USD. Can you guys see the Ethereum USD? No? Okay. I was wondering why it loaded like that's weird. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, let me go ahead and stop the sharing. It's weird. It usually never mind. It's on me though. But check this out. This is the 30-minute time frame. So he is using the 30-minute as his higher time frame. That is awesome. 30-minute, right? He's seeing the breakout. Notice we had a breakout here, my last starting point. I'm sorry, that's not it. The last selling candle was actually here. Notice how the market tapped in. We had the breakout, tapped in, market's gone. Amazing. Now look at here. Next one after that. Break a structure. He has a starting point lined up. Now the market's making its way back, right? So this is cool. As the market's making its way back, bro, you have to mark up your break of structures. This is a break of structure here. This is possibly a break of structure on lower time frame. But if you don't have those things marked up, I know you can see it, Carlos, right? You've been trading for a couple years now. You know, you are very sharp, but I'm just using you as an example. Hope that is okay. Um, it's actually a continuation. If it plays out. Yeah, yes, I got you. I got you. I can see the bias. But yeah, as the market continues to drop, right? Mark this up. Market continues to drop, mark this up. Continues to drop, mark this up. As soon as we get into this area, find your change of direction, look for some more buys, right? Look for some more buys. I do like that setup though. It looks very, very clean. Especially this. Like it doesn't get any cleaner than like a massive breakout rally like that, right? Love those. Love those. All right, let's take a look though. I don't know what we're looking at. Anybody have a chart they want to look at specifically? I'm trying to give some good examples though. So yeah, I'm trying to give some good examples. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this. I want to see if this is a good example here. Gold. Okay, I'll take a look at that after. Because I want to find good setup specifically, right? This literally looks like my drawing right now. Look at that. Would you consider that a BOS of the upside, guys? Yes or no? All I need is a yes or no. Would you consider that a break of structure to the upside?
Yes.
Yes, right? Let's go. Now, look at is the market bullish, guys? Is the market uptrending? Flowing upstream or downstream? Right? Flowing upstream. Wouldn't it be easier to swim with the stream, guys? Super easy. Now look at, I already know if a lot of people, trust me, I know you guys because I used to do the same shit. I promise you, like I promise you. A lot of people are looking at this, and what are you thinking, guys, right away if you're seeing something that looks like this? What are you thinking? Be honest. Be honest with me right now. What are you thinking? Downtrend. Thank you for being honest, Jennifer. You are thinking downtrend because you are thinking in your head that the market is going to give us a head and shoulder. That's what you're thinking, right? You're anticipating it because this is just super sharp. We have a sharp up and a sharp down, and you're just automatically thinking sales. Guys, do not think like that. Please. You guys are gonna get clapped. I used to get clapped so much thinking like that. Guys, if this is your break of structure, find your change of direction. If this is the dominant high and this is the dominant low, your change of direction line goes down here. Now, if the market then drops and closes below this black line, then we start looking for sells. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 10 if that makes sense. Once we get this shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction, once the market drops, guys, we might even, let me just tell you this, right? We might we might even miss this sell. We might even miss that sell. But that's the confirmation. If we are still looking for buys based off of this, we might miss that. We might actually get clapped. We might actually hit stop loss. And that's okay. Why? Because we are going with the trend. Okay. But once we get this confirmation here, once we get this change of direction, then we have the head and shoulder. So important, guys. Then we have the head and shoulder. Then we can start looking for the sales to come back and take some more off that right shoulder zone. Super freaking important. If your team or your people in your city weren't on this call, Hey, I don't know what to tell you guys. You're the one with the information now. That's it, right? So now let's go ahead and look. Let's look at the structure. Let's go to lower time frame. As of right now, and again, this is EUR USD, probably the ugliest pair to trade, right? But would you consider that a break of structure to the downside? Possibly even a liquidity sweep. But would you consider that a BOS just based off of what we have here? Yes, right? I would. Very, very faint. But if you don't, hey, label that a liquidity sweep. But, whichever you feel like. We'll keep it like that for now. But again, if this is my dominant low, if the market dropped all the way down here and then came all the way up here, this is my change of direction line. Need change of direction for buy opportunity. Now let's take a look. Now we wicked it. For me, that's not a change of direction just yet. Let's see if we can get a candle above. Awesome. That is a candle above. That is a change of direction for me. Now, again, this isn't the cleanest market structure. Very, very ugly, right? I like to trade market structure that's very, very clean. But guys, the same thing applies. Same thing applies, guys. This is my left shoulder. This is my stop loss. Now, again, we went from the daily to the 4 hour, right? Now, once the market comes back down here in this area, we could even drop down lower to see if we could find a better entry for a snipe, right? But everything is coming together time frame by time frame, right? So now let's go take a look. I see a break of structure here. Change of direction line. Let's go ahead and hop to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, cool. I see one more pullback and breakout. I need to adjust these lines. Where do I adjust these lines to? Annotate on my chart. I need to move my breakage structure and my change of direction. Where do I move these lines to, guys? Let's go, Jennifer. Jennifer ain't playing today. Jennifer is saying, yo, I'm finishing the year off strong. Let's go. Let's go. So let's take a look. What's going to happen here? We do have a starting point. So let's keep that in mind. Let's see if that sells off this. I do know the market drops back lower, so I do want to see why the market didn't respect this. Let's take a look. I do see liquidity here as well. This isn't my type of head and shoulder. I got to be honest. I like clean sweeps and then to take off. So I'm already iffy onto this. So let's just take a look. Let's see what time frame is this on again. Okay, bounced off the higher time frame zone again. Awesome. Damn. But again, if this is what it was, right? This was probably the miss. This wick right here, after the change of direction, I was looking for buys here. The market missed me, right? So let's go ahead and refresh. And let's see if the market wants wants to come back down again. Let's see if the market continues to break out. Let's go back up so that we can take less time. All right, bet. There we go. Let's play it back uno más. Let's play it back about there. All right, bet. Right, so look, this is the thing too. Look at this, guys. Remember I told you you might even take a loss? Let's say you're someone who runs this odd, right? This is your stop loss. Technically, it does give you, does it give you 1 to 2? the market does actually give you a 1 to 2 before it hits your break even again. So not only were you able to partial, you were able to break even. So technically, this was not a loss if you took this as a buy opportunity, right? It does give us the break of structure, does give us the change of direction. If you are someone who was willing to play this, this was a break even. But let's say it doesn't hit your let's say you don't break even, right? Because there are people who are just always gonna forget about risk management or trade management. So let's say you don't move this to break even and it hits your stop. That's one trade down in your 10 trade cycle, right? So just something to think about, right? But again, doesn't mean you're wrong overall, it just means you're wrong in the moment. And that happens sometimes, right? So let's go ahead. Boom, we have my breaker structure here, BOS, to the downside. So higher time frame, I obviously know that this is my change of direction here. Now the market is in my zone. Let's see if we can drop down to lower time frame and see if we can find pullbacks closer. Boom. This is my closest pullback right here. We're on the 5-minute time frame. Guys, if this might trick some of you guys, and that's okay. Feel free to participate, right? It's okay to be wrong, guys. If this is my break of structure, where is my change of direction line? Somebody annotate on my chart, please. If this is my change of direction, if this is my break of structure, where's my change of direction? Right? I will go ahead and draw on my chart. You guys can go ahead and find my change of direction. If this is my BOS, where's my change of direction, guys? We're not focused on this, right? We got to break this in half. Let's go. Let's go, Nanda. We got to break this in half. We can't be focusing on what's happening here yet. We can't be focusing on what's happening in here yet. Why can't we? Because if the market is trending downwards, we have to be focused on the structure that's focused on this left-hand side. If the market is giving me a starting point here, the market can easily sell off that. Now look at what the market did. It did respect that zone. So now if this is my break of structure, my change of direction is right here. I need the market to change direction for a buy opportunity. Give me a 3 if that makes sense. And give me a question mark if you're confused about that right now. So if you're having trouble and possibly getting clapped with focusing on this right hand side, that's probably why. Okay. Very important you focus on this left hand side as well. Okay. Very important. Promise you guys. The left hand side, if you mark it up, will save the freaking day. And this is why I ask you guys these things because notice, not trying to pick on you, Jennifer, right? I noticed, when you focus on this, and I noticed you focus on this, I know other people are also focused on this as well. And that's what gives me the moment to go ahead and correct and explain and why we focus on this, right? So again, if you're not on these calls, guys, it's going to be hard for you to level up in 2026. 2026 is not far away. 2025 literally zoomed past us quick. Guys, do we have the change of direction? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Let's go. Let's go. So let's take a look. I have my starting point right here. Now, I know I said when it comes to the starting point, find your starting point. Oops. Find the lowest wick in that area. That is your stop loss. However, on lower time frames, I'm a fan of just putting my stop loss at the low, right? So we'll go ahead and see which one actually gets respected. But I'm a fan of widening my zone a little bit on the lower time frames. If we're on the daily, weekly, I want to minimize this as much as possible. But on the 5 minute, 1 minute, I don't mind stretching it out just a little bit, right? That gives me a little bit comfortability just in case the market wants to go ahead and be toxic a little bit, play around my zone, whatever the case, and then go. That gives me some room to play with. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Consolidation. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. When we could see liquidity forming, when we're looking for buys, that is a good sign, guys. Right now, let's take a look. We can always see if the market is ready to shift. Break a structure to the downside. Change of direction here, right? So we can take a look. Is the market going to start heading down towards me, or is the market going to continue going higher? Boom. Let's adjust. Do you guys see what I mean by adjusting now? We just have to wait for confirmation. Boom. We adjust. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. All this is liquidity right here. I don't like this buy personally because there's a lot of liquidity here, and I would not mind for all of this liquidity to be swept and then take off. So this is what I mean, guys, by being selective, being picky. I'm not saying it's not a setup. I can see the setup, but I can also see the liquidity that they want that they don't want you to see. Right? So let's take a look. This setup can definitely hit, and it did. Look at it. Literally a snipe. Freaking snipe. But let's see. I still see the liquidity. Look at that, bro. That just took off. And again, I don't trade EUR NZD like that, right? So I'm being very selective, and it's okay to be selective. Boom! Look at that, bro. Look at that. Freaking took off. Guys, this is why you have to understand structure, right? Guys, I'm looking for buys here. This is exactly what I mean by just because we go to a lower time frame and we're looking for buys here does not mean the market owe you anything. The market doesn't owe you anything, guys. Mark up this structure. That is my very last break of structure to the downside. You can't deny it. That is my very last BOS to the downside. This is my change of direction. As soon as we change direction, the market literally comes back. Now, this is what I mean. This might be a setup you might have to run your odds with. And if you're okay with running your odds and being okay with might getting stopped out, hey, that is okay. You have to run your odds. That was literally just shy of a 1 to 4. Just shy of a 1 to 4. And again, look at this. All of this, guys, happened on that 1 hour setup. So crazy. Now, I don't even know. I don't know, but let's see if this actually runs to new highs. I don't know, right? But let's take a look. That would be crazy if it did. That would be crazy if it did. But as of right now, this for sure already hit TP, right? We're just taking a look and seeing if it's going to run the new highs, right? But that for sure hit TP. That was for sure a 1 to 4, just shy of 1 to 4. But let's take a look. Does the market go higher or does it come down to me? Let's just play it out. Let's take a look. What is it going to do? Is it going to start dropping down? Market's continuing as of right now. Let's make this go a little faster. Speed that thing up, my boy. Consolidation. More consolidation. But let's take a look. More consolidation. Oh, liquidity was just swept. Let's take a look and see what happens. Liquidity was just swept. Let's take a look and see what happens. As of right now, guys, this is just building money. This isn't going anywhere. It's just building liquidity, right? So there's no need to be aggressive or anything. Now the market's coming down. Let's see if it's going to sweep this. Not this time. Let's take a look. Very last BOS, change of direction. Now let's take a look. We can delete this and we can delete, or we can save that. Now let's take a look and see if it respects or break even. Did we go higher? Let's see if it respects this. I don't like how it's moving, but it doesn't mean that it's not giving me profit, right? I don't really like this structure. My stop loss is technically here. Okay, cool. So now take a look. This area technically just hit stop loss or break even technically, right? So now let's see. Is the market going to come down to this zone and continue buying? Or is the market going to go ahead and respect this? We have a break of structure to the downside. My change of direction line is here. Let's take a look. This looks fairly good. I ain't gonna lie. This looks better than most of them that we had just seen. So let's take a look and see if this respects. We have the same thing happening, right? A lot of liquidity being built. When you guys just sit and watch the charts, guys, you guys start to understand what they're trying to do to you. They're trying to manipulate you, right? So let's see if this is respects or if this goes lower. Because at the same time, we know there's a zone right here, right? Now, they're going to put zones that look fairly good in front of you to entice you to hop in. Now, sometimes that's going to happen, right? Based off of this, I personally would have liked this setup over the rest. But let's see if this is gonna work out. Again, look at what it's doing, just consolidating here in this zone. But that does not mean that it can't hit. All right, that's my stop loss technically. Now let's take a look. Dang, bro, you just take forever, bro. Like, let's go. Let's gotta move on this thing, bro. Oh, spread would have for sure took me out. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see what's gonna happen here. What's gonna happen here? All right, so let's go ahead and clean up. Obviously, this zone was not it. It was definitely in to entice you, right? Now, again, the zones that we had here, starting point, good entry. However, the stop loss, fairly tight. Told you guys that beforehand, right? So let's take a look. Let's see if we can get some respect down here now. Let's go to that 1 hour time frame. 15-minute. I definitely like this. I like the liquidity sweep, very sharp liquidity sweep, and then we change direction right away. Let's see if the market comes back. But based off of this, we should already be in this trade. Entry, stop loss. Let's see if this trade runs the highs that we're looking for. 1 to 7. Let's take a look. Let's stay on the freaking 15-minute actually, because that 5-minute took forever, bro. Let's take a look though. I don't know. I don't even trade EUR and ZD like that. I don't think I've ever traded it, but let's take a look. I like to give my trades a little bit of space, so I would personally do something like this rather than just on it, just for clarity. But let's take a look, man. Just ugly structure, like off the rip. I hate when markets consolidate like that. Even though it's good, like to see obviously for liquidity wise, I just hate it. Liquidity, obviously. This setup was definitely clapped. It was not good. Oh, look at that. That's the setup right there. You see how that manipulates? Now let's see if this one holds. Because that was down back, hit stop loss, and then comes back right away. Let's see. Oh, bro, don't tell me. You see how they gonna stop me out and then miss my entry, big dog? Oh, bro. This is where we get hot, bro. This is why we get hot. But look, this is on the 15-minute, right? I'm a huge fan of finding setups and then going up a time frame. I do know, again, I do know we're trying to minimize, so we're trying to make things smaller. However, sometimes this is gonna happen, right? You're gonna go ahead, find a setup, and sometimes it's gonna barely miss you. But I'm a fan of hopping up a time frame to widen out. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we get any wider. Um, maybe the 2 hour would have put us in. That's a snipe, but the 4 hour would have put us in as well. But look at that, guys. Look at that structure. Now, again, I want to show you guys something, right? We were on the lower time frame trying to figure out buys, 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 buys. Guys, a lot of the times we're on these lower time frames getting manipulated. And this is why I'm a fan. I really don't drop any lower than the 1 hour unless it's the indices. Mainly because indices for me structure is better than forex pairs, so it's easier for me to see some things. But usually, even on indices, bro, like I hardly go down the 1 hour time frame. So understand, guys, if you can see the setup, bro, on the 1 hour, you don't have to drop any lower. Now let's see if this was the one that technically would have ran these highs because we were looking for this buy here. Let's see if this was the one right here. Now, again, this is a perfect example of just waiting for a perfect setup and it just misses you. Like you can do everything right. You can do everything right, stay patient, look for good opportunities, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes the market is going to do what the market does and it's going to hit your stop loss and then miss you, right? But that's not your fault. You did everything right. You were looking for the buys based off of trend. You dropped down to lower time frame to use precision. You did everything right, but the market missed your entry literally, guys, by um 6 pips. Missed your entry by 6 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Now that's something like that sucks, bro. Like we have no say in that. 4 pips, it looks like. Missed it by 4 pips. However, that movement on that is just disgusting. The movement on that is just disgusting, right? But again, guys, we have to stay confident. You can't let things like this like disappoint you and like make you feel down because the more you get better, the more you know you're getting better. And the more confidence you start to build within yourself and within your trading, especially when you're trading live, right? So things like this can mess with your mind and just make you feel maybe a little butthurt, maybe a little, like aggressive. Like next time I'm gonna be more aggressive. Like nah, like I'm tired of being missed. Like guys, stay calm. The trades you're supposed to miss aren't meant for you. Like if the trade misses you, it wasn't meant for you. It's okay. Stay locked in and stay looking at charts, stay sharp. Your time is going to come. The market will give you opportunities. And when the market gives you opportunities, the best thing you can do, guys, is just stay locked in, right? Like if the market gives you opportunities and gives you entries, that's when we start to focus up. Make sure you have good money management. Make sure you have good trade management. Make sure you guys are taking partials. Make sure you guys are moving your stop losses to break evens, right? If you can look for a new opportunity, go ahead and look for a new opportunity. But if the market isn't giving us entries, there's nothing we can do. Don't even sweat it. Just continue looking, right? Just continue to look, continue to wait, continue to be patient. And when the time comes to just smack the markets, we'll go ahead and smack the markets, man. But I hope you guys had a great session. I hope I was able to break things down for you guys to understand a little bit better. I hope the examples that we had, in my opinion, I know for you guys, it might not have been a good example, but for me, that's a great example because it talks like subconsciously, right? You guys don't know it, but it's going over psychology, it's going over trade management, risk to award, and it's talking about emotion. So even though we didn't technically catch a trade or catch the main trade, those things were all in those examples that I tried my best to talk through and help you guys understand and break down. So, you know, not every example is going to be the most one structure wise, but a lot of the times it's very good psychology wise, right? So, I hope this call was fire for you guys. If you guys need extra things, ask your questions, bro. Ask your questions. After we cover macro to micro um, time frames, I really want to break down starting points. But you know what? I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna save that for later. Going too far ahead. It was frustrating, but thank you, Vinny. Hey, trading is frustrating, especially when you feel like you're just like, bro, I'm right there. Like I'm understanding a lot, but I'm right there. And these little tweaks is what's going to get me over the hump. And I'm happy that I can do that for you guys. So make sure you guys ask your questions. If you're struggling on specific things, guys, take a screenshot of that trade. Why did I win? Why did I lose? Put a little question in the corner. That way you can bring it to my attention on these calls and we can go over a whole thing. Like, let's just say, for example, Jennifer, you just have like an amazing or a bad trading week and you want to break down why these trades were so good or bad, let's do that. If it's just me and you, Luis, it's me and you, bro. If it's me and you, Gio, it's me and you. Yadi, Fernanda, Carlos, if you guys are the only ones sending in charts, then I guess that call is going to be just a me and you call. Everybody else can watch. That's perfectly fine with me. I get that. But guys, last few weeks, bro, last few weeks till the year ends. Give me a one if you are where you want to be in your trading. Give me a one if you're exactly where you want to be in your trading. And give me a five if you know that you can hit new levels. Give me a five if you feel like you can hit new levels. Let's go. Let's go. I believe everybody about to hit new levels in 2026. Last few weeks, guys, lock in. What do you need? What does Luis need? What does Theta need? Isha, what do you guys need? Write that down on a paper. What am I struggling with? What can I come to Vinny with? Like, I'm just gonna bug Vinny for the next 8 weeks, next however many months, right? 8, 12, however many weeks we got left in the year. I'm just gonna give Vinny everything I need help with, and I just hope he just gives me the sauce. Guys, let's do it. Write down your questions of what you need, and we'll go ahead and knock that out the best we can before the year ends. Right? Let's get it. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being locked in, and I will see you guys on Friday. Peace out, guys.